Hello, welcome back to my channel, Editing Mindset. Today's story is The Blue Umbrella. Once there was a man named Robert who had one good umbrella. It was a large, dark blue umbrella with a strong steel handle. He had bought it 10 years ago and taken good care of it, and it had taken good care of him through 10 rainy seasons. Robert lived alone in a small house and walked everywhere. He walked to the market. He walked to visit his sister on the other side of town. He walked in the morning and in the evening, and he did not mind the rain as long as he had his umbrella. One afternoon in autumn, Robert was walking home from the market when the rain started. He put up his umbrella and walked on. The rain got heavier. He walked faster. Near the bridge, he saw a young woman standing against a wall with a baby on her back. She had no umbrella. The baby's head was uncovered, and the rain was falling on both of them. The woman was not crying. She was standing there, getting wet, waiting for the rain to stop. It did not look like it was going to stop. Robert stopped. He looked at the woman. He looked at his umbrella. He looked at the sky, which was a dark gray color. That meant the rain was planning to stay for some time. He walked over and held his umbrella over the woman and the baby. "Please take this," he said. The woman looked at him. "I cannot take your umbrella." "The baby is getting wet," said Robert. She looked at the baby's head, then back at Robert. He was already getting wet. "Please," said Robert, and he put the handle in her hand and walked on. He walked home in the rain without his umbrella. By the time he got home, his coat was soaked and his shoes were full of water. He changed his clothes and made tea and sat by the window watching the rain. He did not feel bad about the umbrella. If anything, he felt rather good. This surprised him slightly, because the umbrella had cost him a fair amount of money 10 years ago, and he did not have money to buy another one easily. He supposed the baby had something to do with it. The next morning, the rain had stopped and the sky was clear. Robert walked to the market. On the way back, carrying his vegetables, he passed a house he had walked past 100 times. An old man was sitting outside on a low steel step, holding something and looking at it sadly. Robert stopped. "Are you all right?" The old man looked up. He was holding a small ceramic pot, cracked down one side. "My wife made this pot 40 years ago," he said. "I knocked it off the shelf this morning. I was trying to bring it to the repairman, but I don't think it can be fixed." Robert looked at the crack. It ran from the rim nearly to the base. "Where is the repairman?" he asked. "2 streets from here, but my legs are not good today." Robert put down his vegetables. "I will take it," he said. "You don't know where it is," said the old man. "2 streets from here," said Robert. "You just told me." The old man looked at him for a moment, then held out the pot. Robert found the repairman without much trouble. The repairman looked at the crack and said he could fix it, but it would take 2 days. Robert left his name and the old man's name and address and walked back. 2 days later, he told the old man, "He can fix it." The old man sat there looking at the step where the pot had been. "Thank you," he said. Then, after a moment, "I don't know your name." "Robert." He looked up. "Robert, my daughter brings me lunch every day, but today she cannot come." I have rice, but nothing to cook with it. I don't suppose you know anyone who—" "I will bring you something," said Robert. He went home and cooked a simple soup with the vegetables he had bought that morning. He brought it back in a covered bowl and left it with Jack, for that was the old man's name, and went home. He ate rice for his own lunch, which was fine. He liked rice. 2 days later, he picked up the pot from the repairman and brought it to Jack. The crack was sealed with gold lacquer, the way old things are repaired in Japan, making the break part of the beauty. Jack held the pot in both hands and looked at it for a long time without speaking. "My wife would have liked this," he said finally. "She liked things that were honest about what had happened to them." Robert looked at the gold line running down the pot. He had not thought about it that way before, but it seemed right. He said goodbye and walked home. A week later, he was walking past the bridge in the rain. He was walking in the rain more often now since giving away his umbrella. When he heard someone calling his name, he turned around. It was the young woman from the bridge. She was holding his dark blue umbrella. "I have been looking for you for a week," she said. "I didn't know your name or where you lived. I asked everyone near this bridge." "You didn't need to find me," said Robert. "I did," she said. She held out the umbrella. "The rain stopped an hour after you gave it to me. My baby was dry. I have been carrying this umbrella since then, hoping to see you." Robert looked at the umbrella. It was his umbrella. He had walked in the rain for a week because of it. He took it because refusing would have been unkind, and she had carried it for a week, which was its own kind of kindness. "Thank you," he said. "No," she said. "Thank you." She bowed and walked away. Robert stood on the bridge with his umbrella and watched her go. Then he looked up at the sky. It was gray and getting darker. He could feel the rain thinking about starting again. He walked home. He hung the umbrella by the door, where it had always lived. He made tea and sat by the window. The rain started, lightly at first, and then more heavily, the way rain does in autumn. He looked at the umbrella by the door. It was a good umbrella. He was glad to have it back. But he found himself thinking about the pot with the cracked gold and the old man who liked things that were honest about what had happened to them. And he thought that perhaps objects, like people, were changed a little by where they had been and what they had done. The umbrella had kept a baby dry on a rainy afternoon. That was nothing. He drank his tea and listened to the rain on the roof. And after a while, he stopped thinking about it and just listened to the rain, which had no opinion about any of it and simply fell, as it always had, on everything equally.